everybody. Welcome back. It's the Veg Inside the Eye Live. Coming to you from Riyadh, again, the capital of Saudi Arabia. It is 9 o'clock in the evening local time. It's basically cat feeding time locally. And so I've got guests like now swimming around my feet. We want to introduce a new cat to you. This is now called, this is Tracy. And Tracy's a new mommy. She's got 3 kittens. And she's a sweet, sweetheart. Not the smartest cat, I'll be honest, but she's a sweet, sweet, sweet cat. And she's just coming over because she's like saying, "Hey, Dad, it's time to eat." So she likes to hang out with me a lot. Also, if I lay down, she's like there. I don't know if you've seen the videos of cats that just like to sleep on you, but she's one of those cats. Okay, go on. Go on. You have to be careful because they'll knock over the, what do you call it, the microphone. Not knock it over, but disconnect the microphones. Anyways, welcome back, everybody. Want to say thanks again to all of you joining us now on Rumble. This is the bonus segment on Rumble. We're very excited to have you here. And, we keep doing now, we'll probably work this out till I get my endurance up to maybe a 4-hour show. Generally, we've been doing about 3.5 to 3 hours, 40 minutes, something like that. So we'll just go until I just get really tired. And what can I say? I don't have phones worked up. It's not ringing to my laptop. Otherwise, I would take phone calls from you. I could always do like last week and just kind of do this. We could do that if you want to call in. We have the 213 number. It's not the ideal way to present it, but hey, it works. But what can I say? Anyways, we want to cover some of the things over on X, some of the things I've flagged this week that were of interest to me. One of those, of course, was the CEO of the ADL basically saying, "Listen, we spy on everybody, and if you don't like it, actually, you don't care. We just spy on everybody, and we catch all the bad guys, if you can trust Jews on that." But it's not just him, of course. Let's see. We don't want to go to there. We want to go to X, 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 X. Where's X? That is so bizarre. I just tested it, and it was like working great. Now it's not working at all. Let me see here. Hold on, guys. Hold on here. Hold on. Hold on. Go here. Go here. Go here. And I think that's going to work. Let me just check my thing real fast. Yeah, it's working. But where'd I go? Where did I go? I know how to get me back. Let me go to sources. And I'm going to add a video capture device. Add video capture and add existing. Say OK. And put you here for now. And then make you a little smaller. There you go. It's not ideal again, but hey, it works. Okay, that looks terrible. Hold on here. Okay, that works. Okay, now we can try to move this one over. That's all doing on the fly. All right, so basically we had the ADL talking about how, he needs to spy on everybody because, hey, spying is just great stuff and we Jews are just awesome. Just going back real fast, things we were discussing earlier about language. Listen, I don't know how active you are in social media. Myself, I'm not like before, I'm still kind of half trollish, but not like before. And it was the cat, but not like before. Your tail's in my face. This is the duster tail. She likes to dust everybody. You're crazy. Anyways, serious radio, man. This serious freaking video. It's serious, man. I look like maybe if I put this, it might be like Dave Crockett. That's too Americana for some people. It'll be like Davy Crockett. Hey there. All right. So, anyways, we're gonna try to get in here. She's so sweet. This cat is so sweet, guys. I called her Tracy because I put her out when she was a kitten to see if she could just hang out outdoors. And after 3 days, she found her way back. So I called her Tracy because she could trace her way back. All right. Let's see. The ADL was one of the stories we wanted to bring up. And another issue here is oil sales. There's very interesting details here. You had $14 billion are now going to be going to Iran. $14 billion estimated in oil revenues at the same time that the U.S. is fighting a war against Iran. Again, I don't know. See, the thing is that the United States has made such a really poorly calculated dynamic here when they went to war with Iran. It was all based on Israel, all based on this idea that we're somehow going to be able to defeat Iran. We're going to go in and wipe out its leadership. Seriously, guys, since when did, from our Western point of view, okay? Again, I can't talk about previous generations, but in our generation today, since when is it like acceptable for your government to just start assassinating leaders in other governments? And like somehow we're supposed to see that as acceptable. Yeah, rah, rah, America first. What is this? My mind on I just can't comprehend it. See, I come from a world where we in the West are very skilled. And maybe I'm just dreaming, right? But we're skilled, we're intelligent, we have ethics, we have morals, we're very creative, we're able to compete, we believe in competition. We don't like to lose, but we're certainly not there to stack the deck against us. If we lose, we need to get better. And like the current Jewish controlled United States, Jewish controlled West is everything has to be banished and destroyed. Like how do you go and freaking kill like the Pope of the Shia world? The Ayatollah Khomeini, whether you liked him or not, was probably far more pragmatic than we realize. You you hear a lot about how Iran was killing Americans. Well, you're putting your soldiers inside of Iraq, okay? And Iran is like it's their backyard, okay? Is it okay for us to kill like gang members in Los Angeles? Is that okay? I mean, seriously, is it okay? Or you're going into Mexico? Can you kill gang members in Mexico because that's your enemy? I mean, again, this idea that you just go kill people, you can't do that because all you're going to do is harden the resolve of everybody involved. Can you imagine in America, somebody did take out a Donald Trump? What do you think? We're not happy with Trump. And everybody sees we're not happy with Trump. We're not, some of his domestic policies, okay, but your country's not doing that great, Trump. You're not that good. Yeah, you brought remember the big thing was, oh, you brought the price of eggs down. Remember that? Oh, eggs are down. Okay, that's your accomplishment, dude? Eggs are down? Wow, awesome. Gas was down? Okay, well, okay, awesome, dude. Now where is it? So, anyways, the United States is giving a huge concession to Iran. So, okay, how is this strategy here? I mean, as it's saying here, how is this strategy? It says here for the first time, the U.S. is actually going to be buying Iranian oil. At the same time, you're going to war with them. It's like same thing in Russia. You're going to war with Russia, but you're buying all the natural gas. Literally 100%, for instance, of the natural gas flowing out of the Arctic region for Russia went to Europe. And Europe is going to ban it after 2026. Okay, you're not going to be able to buy from Qatar. You're not going to be able to buy from the Middle East because you're blowing everything up. Whether or not you did it or Iran, it's your war. You're going to go and try to not buy it from Russia. These elites are some of the dumbest we've ever had leading our civilization. Seriously. It's just some of the most dumb. Like here's the story here. A British man is returned back from a holiday, and he's arrested by 6 police officers, it says here, upon his arrival. Now, can you imagine being arrested because you posted something online?
Here, everybody. 6 armed police locking Lee up for Facebook posts. What an utter joke.
Well, the joke
Can you
is-
believe
the joke
this?
is that everyone's on police here, so if you could counter it better, that'd be, it'd probably be funny what you're posting, wouldn't it?
It's a joke.
Yeah.
Utter joke.
Jokes are funny.
Absolute, utter pathetic joke.
Jokes are funny. Racist public order isn't funny.
Prove it. Show me a post
See what I mean?
what's racist.
Well,
What this tells you guys in the UK is your police are completely co-opted with this wokeness. You're dealing with people that literally are. How do you argue with somebody like this? They're so, their minds are so gone. What do you do with this? You're at a situation where the police have to be replaced. You can't fix this. The guy saying, well, it's racist. So what the hell does that even mean? So you're going to arrest somebody because it's quote unquote. What does this mean? Is this like imminent? You know what I mean? Okay, so we're going to go fight a war because of imminent? You're going to arrest somebody because they're racist? And you want to see why I spend so much time on semantics, on language? Because everything is happening through language. Do you really think this guy is really racist and posing a harm to the society? Of course not. Of course not.
there's some proof apparently.
All right.
Hello, everybody.
Are you satisfied spoiling people's holidays?
Well, are you
All for a Facebook post.
Let's say this allegation is true. Would you be satisfied that people are offended by what's been said?
What's so weird about?
See what I mean? Satisfied. It's like they're literally going after people because they were offended. Offended. Can you imagine how low we have gone in the West and how low our police have become? That they would actually go out and offend somebody for something that is quote unquote offensive. How freaking unbelievably low do you need to be to actually do something like that? And think about it. Did this come from we in the West, or did this come from a foreign force? It came purely from Israel changing the language. Like, what the hell is this? Seriously, what is this? But it happens so much in the UK. It's now moving over to Canada. It's moving into Australia. And you notice it's all within Western countries that speak English. And you understand why I focus so long on working on the dynamics of English, to start to say, okay, what's really in our language? Why is it that Jews are so interested in controlling our language? What is it about our language? And I'm not diminishing any language at all. I know how we built English, okay? And it's phenomenal. It's not like it's random thing. Oy vey, we Jews said your language is random, but ours is so mystical. Oy vey. No, we are a very, very unique, powerful language spoken by 690 million people for a reason. And it ain't because Jews are intelligent. It's because whoever created our language was intelligent. But nonetheless, unbelievable. Now, here is what we say about Jews demonic. Here's a Jewish guy, and it's like being confronted, and I've said this myself. It says here, this guy Sam Parker says, give them a nudge and the demon inside will emerge. I've said the same thing for over a decade equally. I truly believe this is true. If you find any Jewish person, you believe they're sane, you believe they're rational people, listen, all you got to do is just find the trigger point, give them a nudge, and you're gonna learn they're not rational whatsoever. But here's this guy being confronted on the streets, and this is a Jewish guy, and this is your Amalek. This is Amalek.
Didn't teach you that killing 12,000 babies is pretty.
It's a shame it's not more.
Oh, it's not a shame. It's not more.
It's a shame it's
Oh
not
yeah.
more.
Oh, this is gonna go everywhere then. You piece of garbage. University of Chicago graduate. He wishes it was more. He wishes it was more.
See, now here's the thing. You shouldn't have attacked. You shouldn't have attacked. See, Jews don't understand proportionality. There was, first of all, no attack as they sold it on October 7th. Now I understand. This coming from Candace, okay? And I'm not a Candace fan. It's just one of her clips. I'm not against her either, okay? I'm just saying I'm not a fan of hers, where I like line up every night to call to hear. She does a phenomenal job now. Never used to be that way, but she is now. And she's saying that now they have October 7th is going to be taught in elementary schools. So not only are they brainwashing children about the Holocaust, but they're going to brainwash children about October 7th, literally. And then, of course, as you grow older, it's like Santa Claus. Santa Claus can't live forever. But this guy is like, you shouldn't have attacked. So you're going to go ahead and flatten all of Gaza because you claim October 7th. That's like Trump starting a war based on imminent. Literally delusional people, literally highly delusional people believe it in their own fairy tales. You think this guy has a clue about what happened on October 7th? He's freaking in Chicago. He wasn't in Israel. He doesn't know shit. Nothing. But he's so drawn in by the words he's fed. He doesn't have the brain cells to even have any critical thinking logic. He's like, well, you shouldn't have attacked. You shouldn't have attacked. Okay, listen. Flatten freaking Tel Aviv. See if we care. You shouldn't have attacked. Flatten Haifa. See if we care. You shouldn't have attacked. You shouldn't have attacked. And guess what? If you take down an aircraft carrier, well, what's everybody going to say? What the Jew said, you shouldn't have attacked. You want to take out the air bases in Manama and Bahrain. Well, you shouldn't have attacked. See, you're up against this mindset. So you justify, if this is the people, and this is the type of people who are creating the dynamics upon which we are fighting these wars, well, guess what? You shouldn't have attacked. Listen, if you don't like what happened to your people in Manama, you shouldn't have attacked. You don't like what happened to you in Iraq, well, you shouldn't have attacked. If your embassy gets overrun in Iraq, well, you shouldn't have attacked. All right? If you lose aircraft, you shouldn't have attacked. And this is their mindset. But see, they're saying that you can destroy whole civilizations. You can wipe out all of Gaza and all the history that was with it because of imminent. It was imminent. Yeah, it was imminent. It shouldn't have been imminent. So you can't argue with this type of mindset. You're dealing with literally a demonic, lower level skilled people. I don't know how else to explain this. How do you argue with it?
Say it.
You shouldn't have attacked.
Yeah, now say it.
You
Yes.
shouldn't have attacked.
Yeah, how many kids do you want dead? Say it.
As
Say
many
it.
as it'll take.
As many as
You
yes.
will never
See what I mean?
attack again.
Yes, more.
Go public.
More.
Well,
Yes.
See, now listen, that's Israel. That's Israel today. If you go inside of Israel and you nudge anybody, that's Israel. That's American Jews today. You should be anti-Semitic. So they get to destroy you. Look how mad this guy is. He's freaking loon. But this is Israel. This is your enemy. He says you shouldn't have attacked. Okay, listen, how do you even if you don't want to use violence, can you reason with this? Literally, he doesn't know shit about what happened on October 7th. He hasn't a freaking clue. But he wants to go ahead and justify killing 12,000 kids, babies. All right? Because of you shouldn't have attacked? Well, why don't you just say that it was imminent? See what I mean? In other words, we are allowing a people literally to start wars based on delusions of quote-unquote definitions they don't even comprehend. Like you shouldn't have attacked. What the hell does that even mean? You're occupying a people. They're defending themselves. What do you mean by attacked? You mean having your Air Force, Hellfire, missile, thousands of cars going in and out of Gaza that day? And you're going to tell us you shouldn't have attacked? Are you an idiot? But you can't reason with this. They're demonic.
Yes. Go. Nice.
Go. You are a
What-
cancer
yes,
to the world.
Good. Yes.
Cancer.
See, and this we hear all across the Jewish community right now. This type of person is at the heart of most Jewish people, as I view it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe. It's for you to find out on your own. This I find normal. I can trigger this any day from virtually any Jew because it's just I understand how they work. So it's not hard to elicit this type of response. Maybe not this violent, maybe not this unhinged, But certainly you can do it if I'm with a more educated Jew. They're going to be much more careful with me because they know they're up against a strong opponent. But it's not hard to elicit this. 12,000 babies is not enough. So, okay, now you have to understand when I say Jews are Amalek, you have to understand the term in Jewish terms and then apply it to Jews equally because he doesn't care how many babies are killed because he believes they're Amalek. That's your enemy. No one, see, he's actually calling for violence. He's saying if you attack, whatever that means, it's imminent. It's imminent. Okay, let me go kill 12,000 kids now. That's not a problem. That's an American. That's not American. That's a Jew. And I don't see where Jews and Americans are the same. Lately, you saw Fox News. Fox News is literally combining the American and the Israeli flag in their graphics as one. And that's been their goal. And we've known this for freaking decades. They're looking to merge these two. You know where I think the military started to merge? Got to be a little bit older here. And if you're not, do some research on the web. There was a commercial in the 90s, I believe, for the U.S. military. And it said, the U.S. military, an army of one. Remember that slogan? I believe that was the time that the takeover of the U.S. military was by and large complete. Because we wouldn't use an army of one. That's a Jewish phrase. The one God, the one. The chosen people, the one. An army of one. And then instead of having stars on our tank battle tanks, we went to the V's. Okay? I think it was the horizontal V. Maybe it's the vertical V. I'm not sure. Where the Israeli tanks have the horizontal V or the vertical V. Something, or it's basically a V. Ours is one way, theirs is another way. It's kind of linking the, if you're a Masonic conspiracy guy, it would be like linking the two sides. The square and the circle. It's kind of like the same concept. But I believe that's when this actually happened. But this guy's like, you're a cancer to the world. You're unbelievable. Here's Trump. Again, the guy who launched a war based on the idea of the word imminent. Remember, guys, he's going to ask for $200 billion because of the word imminent. And don't overcomplicate it because that's as simple as it was. Imminent. Okay? I had to attack because it was imminent. And of course, there was nothing imminent at all. He just wanted to attack because he's pro-Jewish. Whatever happened to this guy, he's not the same guy. He's just not the same guy.
Nancy Pelosi, the speaker?
Well, you know, when she first got in and was named speaker, I met her, and I'm very impressed by her. I think she's a very impressive person. I like her a lot. But I was surprised that
See, now, as you can see, people do change. He's like complimenting Nancy Pelosi. I like her a lot. Okay, that was when he was much younger. Obviously, he changed his opinion. Are you going to fault this guy for changing his opinion? Oh, he said this 22 years ago. That's the trick I see being played out in the alt-right right now with people like a Nick Fuentes. He said this, whatever, dude. People change.
she didn't do more in terms of Bush and going after Bush. It was almost, it just seemed like she was going to really look to impeach Bush and get him out of office, which personally I think would have been a wonderful thing.
Impeaching him?
Absolutely, for the war. For the war.
Because of the conduct of the war.
Well, he lied. He got us into the war with lies. And, I mean, look at the trouble Bill Clinton got into with something that was totally unimportant. And they tried to impeach him, which was nonsense. And yet Bush got us into this horrible war with lies, by lying, by saying they had weapons of mass destruction, by saying all sorts of things that turned out not to be true.
And if you notice, that's exactly what Trump has done.
Nancy Pelosi.
He's
Well, you know,
trying to make the case here that Iran was going to have a nuclear weapon and it was imminent. And that was never the case, has never been the case for 40 years. I believe that the nuclear war narrative came out of Senator Rusk's office in 1986. You have to understand, Netanyahu is basically an American. I mean, he was from New York, lived with the Kushners, I believe. Polish guy, but he lived in America. He's basically like an American agent. But is he an American agent, or is the corruption within America been so deep with the Jewish population that he was just a sleeper cell, now moving from America to take over Israel? And then with his agents in America today, he's obviously destroying America equally, but they don't care. See, because to not Netanyahu, America is nothing but Amalek. So if we destroy America, it doesn't matter as long as Israel gets its way. But the reality is Israel not at this stage getting its way. You know, the war is absolutely decimating Israel. This is what we understand looking at the clips. We have some clowns out there saying, "Oh, look at me! I'm in my apartment, and this is the view from my window, and Israel looks, Tel Aviv looks beautiful today." And I'm like, you really got to be a special kind of stupid to sit there and try to gaslight us that everything is fine while there's so much destruction around you and you know it's there, but you're so pathetic. You have to like create a false flag and spray a swastika just to say there's anti-Semitism somewhere. Same thing, you know, whether you paint the swastika or tell me that everything is fine and, oh, gee, Israel's doing great. What is wrong with the Jewish people? Like, why? You know, you look at this, it's like, why? Don't they have something better to do with their lives, really? Why is it that to the Jewish mind, at least within so many realms that we see, it's like their whole life revolves around you having to believe what they believe. They can't just live their lives. It's like, you got to believe Tel Aviv is okay. You got to believe that Iran is going to have nuclear weapons. You got to believe that vaccines are great for you. You got to believe that migrants are the best thing. You got to believe that diversity is our greatest strength. Everything is about you. Oh, and others, when you look at the Jewish, let's say, experience of the world, their world isn't around just them minding their own business. It's always about having an agenda, a nonprofit, something to affect you and your family and your society and your nation or your civilization even, just so we believe what the Jew wants us to believe. It's like, can't you go do something better with your life, with your world? You have a shithole country called Israel. Why don't you just go have some falafel, go have some hummus, go have some shawarma, and just leave people alone? And then guess what? People will leave you alone. But you can't handle that. You need to have this anti-Semitism everywhere. You need people to hate you. And then you want to whine when they do hate you. It's like, what's the matter with you guys? It just never goes around. All right, this is coming out of the statements coming out here in the GCC meeting. And I really didn't like it because if you notice here, he almost looks like he's wearing a dunce cap, you know, the Qatari representative. Actually, that's Bahrain. Actually, it's a Bahrain flag behind him. But there's a Turkish guy on the left. This is Qatar. It's Qatar guard, by the way. And it's like, really, this is not a war that the Middle East wanted by any stretch.
This war need to stop immediately. The aggression need to stop immediately, because everyone knows who is the big beneficiary of this war and dragging the whole region into this conflict. And unfortunately, what's taking place now, it's a serve for those agendas. Thank you very much.
Yeah, what they were basically saying here is that everybody understands here in the Middle East that the real beneficiary here is Israel, and everybody knows it. So they don't really want to go after Iran. First of all, you can't. To say that they're terrified of Iran may not even be an understatement. Iran's capabilities were built on deterrence using missile technologies. And they're very smart people. Their IQs, the top scientists, are literally up there at 140, 160. These are not stupid people. They're a very rich traditional heritage. Whether you like or don't like the Islamic side of it, well, that's up to the civilization itself to change on their own. They have a right to their own self-determination. So there's nothing we can do about that. We have to let them self-determine themselves. You don't just go bomb everybody, blow up whole neighborhoods, blow up infrastructure. What's your point? Seriously, what is the point? We see we see the OBS is like bouncing right now. Ding 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 ding. It's like, I don't know, a bobblehead or something. So anyways, that's something here. And then Bongino. Let's see if the OBS will come back again. Yes, my feed's okay. All right, I see OBS just reconnected. Okay, maybe it's sending you guys commercials. That's what I think happens. But here's Bongino, and I'm not a fan of Bongino at all.
I call this the like Donald Trump doesn't have the ability to think for himself. You known him longer than I have. I had the pleasure of working for him. You don't know jack squat about this guy if you think he's getting dog walked around by anyone. He's the one walking the damn dog.
All right, let's say Bongino is correct and he's the one walking the dog. Frankly, because of the failures of what is happening right now on a global stage, if he's walking the dog, he should resign. Straight up. I believe he should resign. What he did was unconscionable. You don't go out there and just bomb people. You don't cause all this mayhem around the world. All this economic destruction you're causing to so many countries just because you don't understand the word imminent. Like, okay, just because you want to sell this fairy tale of Iran can never get a bomb. They weren't even trying, dude, and everybody knew it. You told us 6 months ago you obliterated everything. It's like, you know what, dude? It's like nothing you say even makes any sense. You want people to come and like undo what do you call it? The Straits of Hormuz for you. After you've sanctioned everybody, you've insulted everybody, everything you've done to isolate everybody that you could, and then you want everybody to come and help you. Why would they do that? Now what's going to happen, most likely, is Iran is going to impose a tariff on every ship that goes by the Straits of Hormuz. They're going to collect a fee every time somebody goes by. They're going to treat the Straits of Hormuz not as international waterway. They're going to treat it as like the Suez Canal. They're going to take 900,000 here, 600,000 there, and there's so much money coming through there. They're going to make 85 to 100 billion dollars a year. And you know what they're going to say, and that's what I hear they're saying now, is that we deserve it. We suffered for 40 years of bullshit from this American country. We've been attacked and assaulted by Israel literally for 20 years. They just come in, they kill our scientists, they assassinate people on our territory. None of you in the world says a damn thing about it. You just let it happen. You got a president in the America that doesn't even understand the word imminent, so he goes and launches a war. All this destruction. All right, fine. Fine. We're going to take it now from you. You don't want it? Too bad. You don't like it? Okay, come. Go ahead. We dare you. Come. The Americans aren't going to be able to sustain this for more than 3-4 more weeks, would be my guess. That's if the Iranians are smart and they start getting all the tankers. Without the tankers, okay, you're going to be doing long-haul flights with B-52s and B-2s. And in the meantime, from what we understand, the Russians are going to continue to process or assist where they can. Here's another interesting quote here. It says here, the Israeli mob is now holding Zoom meetings and phone calls plotting how to save face following Joe Kent's statements. They will begin delegitimizing his statements, calling it totally absurd. Yeah, they're doing that. They will begin a deep investigation with Joe Kent's life, attempting to find anything to tarnish his reputation, character, and brand him as a fringe lunatic. Yeah, they're trying to do that. The Israeli mob will push their allies and U.S. officials to publicly condemn the statements. That's already happened. The Israeli mob will begin fabricating lies about Kent, including trying to come up with evidence to put him in prison. All this is very true. See, people get it now. This isn't like some fringe theory anymore. Everybody out there is starting to get what's happening here. So what does that show us? Well, kind of like a common sense is that the primary enemy is not what Jews tell us it is. It's actually Israelis themselves. Whether you believe this or not, but this was Kent talking to Tucker Carlson about Charlie Kirk
And then,
pleading with Joe
Kirk is
Kent to
killed,
keep us out of a
and
war
then
with Iran.
Charlie Kirk is killed publicly in a very horrific way, and we're not really even allowed to look into that at all. And Charlie Kirk was one of President Trump's closest advisors, and he also advocated heavily against a war with Iran. He was in the Oval Office in the lead up to the 12-day war. I wasn't particularly close with Charlie. He was very gracious to me when I was running for Congress, very, very supportive. So we knew each other. And the last time I saw Charlie Kirk on this earth was in June in the West Wing, in the stairway. And I said hi to him, and he looked me in the eye, and he said very loudly, and it's a small, you've been in the West Wing, it's small, it's a tight space. And he said, "Joe, stop us from getting into a war with Iran," very loudly.
He was single-minded.
And he walked off, and he went, I believe, into the Oval. So when one of President Trump's closest advisors, who is vocally advocating for us to not go to war with Iran and for us to rethink at least our relationship with the Israelis, and then he's suddenly publicly assassinated, and we're not allowed to ask any questions about that, it's a data point. It's a data point that we need to look into.
What do you mean when you say we're not allowed to ask any questions about that?
We've been told that this individual, Robinson, is a lone gunman, and maybe he is. But the investigation that I was a part of, the National Counterterrorism Center was a part of, we were stopped from continuing to investigate. And the FBI will say that they stopped that because they wanted to have turn everything over to the Utah state authorities. Everything's going to trial. It's very, very sensitive. But there was still a lot for us to look into that I can't really get into. But there,
The funny thing about this is that Candace Owens has done like such a deep dive on this. She's grown her podcast almost to but to like #1 in the world, just on this. So this was a major issue, obviously, to a lot of Americans. I was not really a fan of TPUSA because I remember TPUSA was essentially 100% bought and paid for by the Israelis. I was not wrong. Kirk was essentially operating as a Jewish agent, and I was not wrong. Did he have a change of heart? No, I'm not wrong there either. He did. And ultimately, when you're on the reservation, you're in the cult called Judaism and Israel, you're not allowed to get off that cult. And because he was leaving the cult, he was assassinated. It's like any other cult, serious, dead serious cult. If you try to leave the cult, that's what really happens. Yeah, I think this is Fuentes going after Tucker Carlson a little bit. Like, why are you in Saudi Arabia? Like, it's supposed to be a really big deal. Ooh, oh boy, I found something out here.
You're in Serbia, you're in Russia, you're in Argentina, at that point you kind of say, okay, so this isn't normal. Something is not right there. I don't know who.
Seriously though, all right, how many grapers out there you actually believe that? It's not normal. Gee, I can be in Philippines, I can be in Thai, I can be in France, I can be, and I'm with some senior level people. China, people visit me, from all over the world. Italy, I was just invited to go meet some people in Spain. I just don't have the money to go, frankly, but I could go. And he's like, this is not normal. Oh, well, what type of world do you live in, dude? It's normal to us. Like, why is it not normal, dude? Seriously, I'm like looking at this like, dude, really? It's not normal? Okay.
He is or what he is, but he's not what he says he is. There's sort of this weird, we're sort of supposed to entertain these two thoughts in our head at once. And once Tucker is just a simple, down-to-earth guy like the rest of us, hey, man, I just like fishing and hunting. Me, I'm simple. I just like to go in a sauna and play with my dogs and have sex with my wife, and I like nicotine. And I just like hunting and fishing. And it's like, really? So then what are you doing in Saudi Arabia all the time? Like, what are you doing in Qatar all the time?
See, why is this a big deal? Honestly, I can't speak for the gropers. I know they're a fairly organized, fairly big group, okay? They remind me of the old troll days of the 2000s, okay? And there were some really big troll groups, not centralized, but they were basically like a trolling operation. And this reminds me of that. I'm not saying it's true, but it just reminds me of that. But like, I've been to Dubai or Iraq. I was invited by the government of Pakistan. Obviously here in Saudi, Jordan, you guys know Jordan. China, you have to be careful with China, but I am careful. Italy, France. And like, what are you doing on there? I'm like, how is this not normal? You know what I mean? For me, how is it not normal? It's my job. Okay, what? I'm supposed to listen to like somebody like this and like, wow, it's not normal to be in Saudi all this time. It's my job, dude. Like, do you have a job? Or is just talking on the radio just your job? I don't have that privilege, okay? I got to work for a living. So I just can't sit there and talk to my grapers all day and come up with like, come up with these theories. It's my job to do these things. Is that a problem? Do you really have a problem with this? Do you have a problem with a lot of the messaging you're hearing? Why? Seriously, why? We don't have a problem with your messaging. But what's interesting is like you're always climbing up by tearing people down. That was one of the rules I was told I can't do, by the way. Don't try to raise yourself up by tearing people down. Just don't do it. So, okay, we don't do it. As you know, how many years we've been on the air? Do we get involved in the tearing people down argument? You don't hear that from us at all. We don't play the game. We know it's good for clicks. It's cheap. It works. Okay, we understand that. It's not like we don't know, but I was told early on when I started by financial people that did to help me get started, just whatever you do, don't go down that road. We don't want to see it. It's just waste time, waste energy, waste effort. Try to stay focused on the message. Your message is strong. Keep getting your message out. When we hear you trying to tear somebody down, you're taking away time from the message. And we don't pay you to, and it wasn't like I was paid a lot of money, but we're not sponsoring you to go tear other people down. Stay with the message. Okay. So I just find that always I hear from this guy, he's always trying to tear somebody down.
You doing a lot of hunting and fishing over there? Like, what the fuck is that?
For the record, this is how ignorant this guy truly is. The people I consult to are the largest hunting company in Saudi Arabia. There's 7 million registered gun owners here. It is a huge deal to go hunting in this country. Huge deal. I know one family, they have like a 10 hectare, which is, 10,000 square meters. Some huge giant farm walled off. And they have personnel that grow the pheasants and whatever so they can come in and just do their hunting. And yeah, they eat the prey. They don't just kill and leave. They will go in, they will hunt, and they will eat on their own farm. This is normal over here. It's like, yeah, actually, if he got invited, Nick, to go hunting, that would be something that would be very honorable to do. Okay? That's a great thing. If you can actually go to somebody's farm and go hunting, yeah, that'd be awesome. But it's like 7 million people own guns here. I actually represented or helped sign 6 Hour, Benelli, what do you call that company? Beretta for shotguns. We sold like 8,000 shotguns. So yeah, hunting is a big thing here, guys. It's like, dude, do you really know what you're talking about? Yeah, actually, yeah. If he wants to go hunting here, he can use shotguns, but as an expat, maybe more difficult. But you know what? There's some air guns. We sold 30,000 air guns one year. 30,000, okay? In 1 year at a peak time years ago. Okay? For what? For hunting. So he's like, oh, we're going to go hunting. Dude, shut the frick up already. What do you know? Seriously, what do you know? You're just talking and everybody thinks you're a genius. What? Just shut up, dude. Just stay with your message. Don't talk about things you don't know.
So at once,
Yeah, I do know.
I just like my dogs, and I'm not rich. I drive an old truck. I drive an old stick shift truck. I don't want any electronics in my car. Really? Because you fly in a private jet to Saudi Arabia all the time and hang out with the royal family. So what?
Let me explain something to you. The royal family here isn't what he thinks, okay? The power of the royal family is largely gone, okay? They no longer have any stipends from the state. They have to work. They have to have their own business. Do they have it? Sure, of course they do. Have they better capital? But yes, of course they do. But it's not like you just come and you hang out. If you're smart, you don't really hang out with them because they just eat you anyways. They're very powerful people. You know what I mean? They don't need you. Once they have the knowledge, they don't need you. But what's the big deal? Tucker Carlson is a superstar. Okay? He's a superstar. So, okay, why would you not want to hang out? But I tell you what, if you're in that circle, you're not going to hang out with politicians. Or at least people in the darker side, because they don't want any publicity. You might hang out with the forward people, the politicians, yeah. But okay, why is it unnatural for people in one society to want to meet with the superstars of another society? See, this makes no sense to me. Like if you have a chance and you're a football fan, soccer, and you can meet Ronaldinho or Cristobal, what's this guy's name? Christian Ronaldo or something like that. Are you going to like, oh, gee, I'm hanging out with Christian? No, come on, this is normal. This is normal. Why are we making this out to be such a big deal? Seriously, why? Hey, don't stop. Like, it's not a big deal. You know what, Nick, if you want, you come to the World Defense Show here in Riyadh, and you can meet all these key people, and then it's going to be easy for you to go ahead and hang out. It's not a big deal. They may not like you so much because you don't have sophistication, but don't blame that on them. You know what I mean? But he can come do it. It's not a big deal. It's really not. It's an open trade show. You want to know about all of these various things? Okay, go to the major exhibitions. Go to the International Defense Expo. Go to the Dubai. Well, it's hard to go to the Dubai Air Show, but I've done it. Go to the Dubai Air Show. You can meet all the key people in all these key areas. Even hang out with a minister or something for a while. It's not a big deal. And that's the difference. People think it's hanging out with all these people is a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I go to Tikrit, okay? I have relations. I go to Tikrit. I go to Saddam's house. I hang out with the governor, have lunch with him. Okay, right there on Saddam's porch. I'm hanging out. Look, dude, it's not a big deal. It's really not a big deal. And if you think it is, stop. Because if you want to do it, you can do it. You can't do it if you're sitting in Chicago, okay? Complaining all the time. No, you got to get out there and do it. And if somebody doesn't want a lot of electronics in their house, what's the problem with that? I remember when I was selling vitamins and supplements way back in the day, and I met I worked with a grandmaster. Okay, seriously, a grandmaster from Korea. But I also, while I was doing that, met a lot of grandmasters from all over the world. One of those was from Tahiti. This guy from Tahiti had 2 people with him. And you know what? He wouldn't even touch an electronic device. He said, no, this destroys my aura. He won't even touch. So if there was a phone coming in, it went to his assistant. The assistant would put it on speaker. He would talk, but he would never touch the electronic device. Oh, are we supposed to make a big conspiracy out of this? He told you why. So if you don't want to have electronics in, well, there's reasons why. Even people like Meta and big executives in the social media world and the computer world, they don't want their kids around the electronics. So maybe a Tucker who does know about things like mind war and the various electronic frequencies, maybe there's reasons he's doing it, but he doesn't really want to talk about it. It's not a big deal. Get yourself educated. Me, I'm an electronics guy. It surrounds me all the time. But I can understand it. Honestly, I can understand it. If I were not a media type of person, like I am, self-produced, all that, I wouldn't mind disappearing. Just go to a beach, relax, and just disappear. It wouldn't be bad. Just go dark. Don't worry about social media. Don't worry about any more communications, and just live my life. Enjoy my time on the beach, and just forget all the electronics. That wouldn't be bad. What? So there's a problem if I can live my life that way, and he can live his life that way? It's okay. He can afford people who feeds him the electronics. Yeah, he goes through filters, but is this a problem? Of course not. So why make it into a problem? Because tear down, you climb up. I don't like this way, frankly. I just don't. I think it's counterproductive. But anyways, did you see this one? This one came out of the Daily Mail. We're going to go actually till 10 o'clock, guys, locally. So we got about 7 more minutes to go. We'll give you a full hour here. I've got this thing working better than before. Shakespeare's birthplace to be decolonized. Can you believe that shit? I mean, I'm a fan of Shakespeare. Not a big fan. I shouldn't say I'm a fan of Shakespeare, but I'm a fan of the era. Attended a few Renaissance fairs in my day, okay, when I was younger. But like Shakespeare and King Henry IV, right? Yeah, Falstaff is fighting, and he says, from 2 doth come 11. Okay? Well, from 2 doth come 11 is basically, that's actually part of the occult code that I speak about in my other work with esoteric English. From 2 doth come 11 is the same as in Genesis, onto your belly you shall go. Genesis 3:14, by the way. Onto your belly you shall go, and dust you shall eat all the days of your life. Why? Because they're the same code. From 2 doth come 11, onto your belly you shall go. They're talking about a system inside of this esoteric system, which is trans-cultural, where if you have 2 dice showing, snake eyes, the serpent, onto your belly you shall go, you will have 2 sixes, and the sum of 1 to 11, from 2 doth come 11, the sum of 1 to 11 is 66, and on the belly will be 2 sixes. It's what we call an achromatic cipher, and it's being like done in Shakespeare, it's being done in Torah. Maybe it's being done elsewhere, but these are cases I found. And now they're going to try to tell us that this is a white European supremacy. They're literally trying to wipe out the cultural elements of our civilization. And it's like, how do we even permit something like that? That would be like Russia tearing down its culture and Saudi tearing down its culture. Who allows that? Yet we see it all the time in the West. How do we keep permitting this very alien foreign force to tear down our cultural institutions? From 2 doth come 11 is so freaking elevated esoterics, okay? That most people will never even grasp what's even inside of these books. The steganography, the hidden code work. And it's like, that's what the West was built on. Steganography, hidden code work. Double, triple, quadruple entendres in words. And we spread this language across the entire planet. Literally, there was a project to name and catalog the entire project, the entire planet in English. Do you realize how monumental that was? For an island nation steeped in esoteric knowledge of letters, esoteric knowledge of the language, who believed in a motivated design, literally sent out pioneers, there's pi in that word, and they cataloged the whole freaking planet. And it was a organized, structured effort, one of the most monumental efforts in the history of mankind. Literally, to go out to the entire world and catalog it and name it and give it a proper name so that it's correctly matching its essence. And this was actually done from a tiny little island. And they're going to talk about how, oh, well, we need to decolonize it because of fears his success benefits the ideology of white European supremacy. It's like, screw you guys. Seriously. But this is your enemy. And it needs to be understood that this is really what we are up against, is a total destruction of our Western civilization, our culture, everything about that made Western European civilization great. That's what's being attacked here. Are there elites working for us behind the scenes? Absolutely. But like everything else, like they say, the Iranian people got to come out. Well, yeah, we need our people to come out also to preserve our heritage, to preserve our systems. It's not just going to happen magically because nobody's out there. And trust me, you're up against the huge odds. They want to jail you for a Facebook post. Okay? So you got to be clever. You got to be smart. But we are clever. We are smart. And we can do it. But it's going to take a monumental effort, just as it took a monumental effort to spread our language, our gods, our letters, and catalog the whole planet. And if you think that was an accident, well, then there's a bridge or two maybe in the desert I can find here in Riyadh to sell you. All right, everybody, that is the show. We're going to end it right there. We want to thank everybody for coming in. We do appreciate your, obviously, your staying with us for the entire time here. And obviously, we want to thank everybody for listening. And with that, I think we are going to say goodnight from Riyadh. It's The Fetch inside the iLive. See you next week. And I think I'm out. So good night. Okay, bye-bye.